dramatic condition from various people around her. So he now wants to provide evidence, apparently either later tonight or tomorrow morning. He's going to put in the public domain evidence against Sasikala's relatives, and he intends to put evidence against a cosmetologist called Dr. Shiva Kumar.
Rajdeep, let's quickly find out, is it tonight or tomorrow, because it's 11:30. I'm famished already. So if it's tonight, we get some dinner right here. If it's tomorrow, okay, we still have some time. I want to go across to C. Rajshekharan. Now, C. Rajshekharan is in this very tricky situation because he comes on our channel as a AIDMK supporter. Just when Jayalalitha died, it wasn't very clear who'd have the majority of the MLAs backing him. He was kind of on the fence. Which side are you on? Are you supporting Pannehrselvam? Are you supporting Sasikala? Are you right on top of the fence, Rajshekharan?
Rahul, see, this, as you rightly said, unexpected situation has been by you, and I'm really confused. We never expected Mr. Pannehrselvam to come out and make some such startling claims, and so much of information is diverging. It is really shocking. As an outsider supporting ADMK and Madam Dr. Jayalalitha's vision, I'm unable to say anything on this issue now.
No, because we just had Durai Pandyan, member of the legal wing of the AIDMK. He defected live on air. He said, I'm switching from Sasikala to Pannehrselvam because Pannehrselvam has the people's support. He has higher levels of popularity. So, yes, Mr. Rajshekharan. So, are you also switching, or you want to stand on the fence just now? Mr. Rajshekharan? I think he disconnected the call. Rajdeep, he's on the fence.
But this is because they don't know what's going to happen next. Let's imagine, do you think any of the AIDMK legislators in their wildest dreams at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. today knew that Pannehrselvam was going to do this? Unlikely. He may have consulted a few people, but very few. Everyone has been taken by surprise, including Sasikala. So I think we can say at the end of this long dramatic evening, Rahul, round one has gone to Pannehrselvam. He has caught his opponents by surprise. He has managed to create sympathy for himself and has emerged from a position where he was being treated as a doormat to now almost the Arnold Schwarzenegger, the new muscular man of Tamil Nadu, or the Rajnikant.
I have a different analogy. This is when Harbhajan Singh, the night batsman, thinks that he can actually bat like Virat Kohli.
But Harbhajan has scored a test century.
That's what I'm saying. So Harbhajan Singh always takes his batting very seriously. Others don't take his batting so seriously. But so he's out to prove.
But I think Pannehrselvam is working now to a plan. There is clearly a plan here. He's expecting the governor to invite him in some way and give him time. He's going to say tomorrow morning that he was coerced into giving up his chief minister.
I want to get some commentary over all these fascinating images. AIDMK supporters out on the streets. Shiv Arur is with us. We've got T.S. Sudhir with us. I want to go across to Sudhir first. Sudhir, describe what you're seeing around you at this time, Sudhir.
Well, at this point in time, popular MGR songs are being played. In fact, there is this auto rickshaw which is blaring old MGR songs, which you can see on your screen right now. In fact, I spoke to the driver of this particular auto rickshaw, a guy called MGR Jayaraman, who has been with the AIDMK for the last 45 years. So I asked him whether he's going to, what did he think of what Pannehrselvam did today? And he said, the people, the public are with Pannehrselvam. So he has also migrated, defected from Garden, as Poise Garden is referred to here in this part of Tamil Nadu, to the Pannehrselvam camp. So you have someone who has been there with the party for the last 45 years, also deciding that Pannehrselvam is a better bet at this point in time. But what we are seeing out here are scenes of jubilation with people dancing to these popular MGR numbers out here. So this is something which nobody would have really expected. None of us journalists really expected that Pannehrselvam will do something of this sort. But he has taken everyone by surprise. He was really not known as a person who would, he was a man of few words, never really known to be a person who would dissent against any kind of decision. Remember, on all three occasions, including on Sunday, he had actually tendered his resignation. But this time, he really had an ace up his sleeve. He decided to revolt. And if he is actually going to spill the beans on a lot of things which are not yet in the public domain. Rajdeep was talking about Dr. Venkatesh and TTV Dinakaran. Both of them are nephews of Sasikala and considered extremely powerful in the entire Sasikala family tree. And of course, there is Dr. Shiv Kumar, who is a cosmetologist, and he was one of the 4 people who had actually access to the second floor where Jayalalitha was being treated for 75 days at Apollo Hospitals. So again, considered very close to the Sasikala family. He's a son-in-law of one of Sasikala's relatives. So in that sense, very close to Sasikala. But if Pannehrselvam is actually going to come out and spill the beans on what has been happening behind the scenes, he will actually be doing Tamil Nadu and the entire country a whole lot of service, because what we have seen here in the way the AIDMK and the entire family is run is a whole lot of secrecy, which is why you don't really get much of information out. And if he's really going to spill the beans, he would actually be exposing a whole lot of people. I will continue to be keeping you with these pictures which are coming to you. In fact, Danny, if you can just pan right and show a whole lot of local people here on Greenbase Road have also come out. The time is 11:30, and definitely for Chennai, it's really late in the evening for them to actually come. But of course, the excitement of their chief minister coming out in open revolt against the AIDMK top leadership is something which you really do not see every day in a state like Tamil Nadu. So in that sense, a huge day, a big day as far as Tamil Nadu politics is concerned, and the Tamil Nadu political theatre has just got much more exciting than all the soaps they actually see on Sun TV. Incidentally, I must tell you that Jaya TV completely blacked it out. They did not show anything of what really happened at the Jaya Memorial and what has been happening over the last couple of hours. So obviously instructions must have come from the top that O. Panneerselvam's revolt should not be shown on what is really known as the official party TV channel. Rahul?
And I'm told that Dr. Shivakumar is accused of giving the wrong diabetic medicine to Jayalalitha. So that is the details that is going to come at the moment. I'm getting more details, in fact, about the kind of companies which were owned, apparently which were owned by relatives of Sasikala. He's going to put all that out in the public domain. So he's putting it all out. He's decided that if I go down, I'm going to go down fighting, and he believes he may not go down. Actually, he's doing exactly, in a sense, what Jayalalitha was able to achieve, this battle for supremacy after MGR's death. He believes he can defeat Sasikala. He has public support, and he will get legislature support with time. And he's going to come out with some very, very high detail. He's going to give names of companies, I'm told, owned by Sasikala. The Benami names are going to come. Various names are being given to me. Jazz Cinema Private Limited, Sri Harichandra Estates, Sri Jaya Finance and Investments, LifeMed Hospitals Private Limited, Royatepa Cardiac Center Private Limited, Khazana Finvest Private Limited, Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan Sugars Private Limited, Sri Sangvi Mills Private Limited, Apollo Textiles Private Limited, Ishwara Azox Limited. These are names. He's got Edison Paints Limited.
These are front companies run by the Sasikala family.
And he's going to put these all out in the public domain.
So I just want to strike a quick word of caution. We don't know whether these companies are actually funded
these
by
are
Sasikala.
claims. These are claims at the moment.
It needs to be established through what documents he's able to put out. But regardless, it would be deeply damaging. I want to go across to Shiv Arur. He's still at the Jayalalitha Memorial. They were singing, dancing. In front of Poise Garden, they were chanting MGR songs. What's happening where you are, Shiv?
Well, the crowds have thinned out right now. In fact, many people are actually coming to us and asking us, what's going to happen next. There's a sort of atmospheric of celebration and happiness right now. Very, very different from what we saw earlier today. Smile on most people's faces. There is a bit of relief that there is some certainty as far as OP Panneerselvam really stepping up and showing some spine finally. The last 48 hours that we've been here, Rahul, there has been uncertainty. People have had anxiety writ large on their faces, but now I think they feel a little empowered, seeing that O. Panneerselvam has stepped up to try and bring in some sort of clarity and uncertainty on what the next step really is. But I think everyone here, has been, asking the same questions that we have. What is that emergency meeting that Sasikala has called, all about? The 50 district secretaries of the AIA-DMK will be meeting tomorrow. We understand that there could be panic in the Sasikala camp. The Panneerselvam camp right now feeling empowered, feeling a fresh wave of energy as they see the kind of voices that are playing out across the media right now. I'm sure some of this is playing out on the national media. Jaya TV happens to be in a bit of a peculiar situation right now because they won't know what kind of voices to really focus on. So I can tell you an air of celebration, even though the crowds have thinned out here at the MGR Memorial.
In fact, all through the while when O. Pannehrselvam was first meditating and later rebelling. Jaya TV did not cut to O. Pannehrselvam at all. I am told that there's complete shock in the Sasikala camp, Sudhir, that they had absolutely no intimation that O. Pannehrselvam would go and meditate. This is totally uncharacteristic as far as they are concerned, and they had no inkling that this political bomb was about to explode on their faces.
Absolutely. I don't think they had any inkling that something like this was really going to happen. He took everyone by surprise by going to Jaya Memorial, sitting there. In fact, as I said, he has been a man of few words, but that 40-minute of complete silence, wherein the entire world was clueless as to what he's going to say next, if he's indeed going to speak. And of course, what he said actually shook the entire political world here in Chennai and Tamil Nadu, and of course the rest of the country, because we have seen a whole lot of family politics, Rahul, over the last few months in Uttar Pradesh in the Samajwadi Party Parivar. But this kind of politics where this has kind of seen an amazing twist, and that also late at night, I don't think the Samajwadi Party drama can really match up to what has happened here in Chennai today. But yes, Pannehrselvam, as many people are actually talking about here, both on the streets of Greenways Roads, which is where Pannehrselvam's residence is located. It's just about a stone's throw away from Poise Garden, where the other emergency meeting will be held right now. They would of course be confabulating as to what their next step should be, and of course to see to it that their MLAs do not bolt, because that's going to be extremely critical. Because even if not 90, even if he picks out about 40 to 50 MLAs out of the AIDMK camp, that will mean that the state will be actually looking at president's rule. So it will be neither Sasikala nor Pannehrselvam. So he could actually spike Sasikala's chances of becoming the chief minister by just plucking out about 40 odd MLAs from the AIDMK legislature party. So definitely Tamil Nadu in for a bout of instability. Pretty much sure after 2 months of relative calm out here. Of course, we had the huge Jallikattu protest, but politically everyone thought that Pannehrselvam is here to stay for some amount of time. But just 48 hours after he was asked to quit, put in his papers, his resignation letter actually taken at 1:41 p.m. when he was at Sasikala's house in Poise Garden. The last 48 hours have seen a dramatic change in the political fortune, the political ecosystem of Tamil Nadu, as it were. Rahul?
I'm also told, Rahul, that more information coming. The main person that he's decided to go after tomorrow,
O. Pannehrselvam,
with evidence and possibly a press conference, is someone called Dr. Venkatesh, who's a relative of Sasikala. And he's also going to challenge the will of Veda Nilayam in the name of Vivek, son of Ilavarasi. Ilavarasi is accused number 3 in the DA case. So he's linking the DA case to Sasikala's companies and thereby creating certainly sufficient ground, he believes, to damage
But this could just be posturing. Put all of this out, say that you've got this dope on Sasikala.
This is war. This is open political war, and he's hoping that he can build this up till such time as when the Supreme Court finally pronounces either on Friday and Monday, he's in pole position to at least be called by the governor to prove his majority on the floor of the House.
Okay, so we've got live images coming in. Utter chaos, confusion in the Sasikala camp. They weren't expecting this at all. We're told that all the 50 parliamentary secretaries, each of the district secretaries of the AIDMK will be meeting tomorrow. Sudhir, any word yet on who has the majority of the MLAs supporting them? There's different estimates coming in. Some saying at this time, a lot of people on the fence, OPS at least with 50 MLAs backing him. Any sense of the numbers on the ground, Sudhir?
Well, it's a little difficult, Rahul, to put a sense of the number of MLAs who would be backing Pannehrselvam at this point in time. But much more crucial would be the district secretaries and the organizing secretaries, whether they actually back Pannehrselvam, because they are the ones who actually control powerful and big districts for the AIDMK. Of course, the MLAs do matter. They would come into the picture. What we are told is that tentatively there would be about 40 to 50 odd MLAs who could be actually backing Pannehrselvam. But whether they all come out en masse in favor of Pannehrselvam is going to be the critical question. Remember, there are also some other heavyweights like a Thambi Durai, who is the deputy leader of the Lok Sabha, deputy speaker in the Lok Sabha, and also people like E.K. Pannerswamy, who is the PWD minister, Uday Kumar, the revenue minister, Pandersselvam, who is the education minister. Now, these are all heavyweights within the AIDMK. Which way do they swing is going to be extremely critical, and what Pannehrselvam can offer them. Also, remember the caste equation. Both Sasikala and Pannehrselvam belong to the dominant Tevar backward backward caste community. How the community reacts, which horse they decide to back is going to be extremely critical. So it all boils down not just to the MPs and the MLAs, it also depends on the powerful caste leaders in districts like Madurai, Tanjavur, Tirunelveli. They are going to majorly take a call on where they should actually head to. So while the MLAs will obviously decide who the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu will be, which way the AIDMK party goes is going to depend really on these caste leaders and the district secretaries.
The other big story that we are getting at the moment, the other big piece of breaking news, Deepa, niece of Jayalalitha, has decided to declare support for Pannehrselvam. So she will be officially, we are told, declaring support for Pannehrselvam tomorrow morning. Deepa, niece of Jayalalitha. Remember, Deepa in a sense now has become marginal.
She had huge crowds in front of her house
Yeah, but
this morning.
she's become marginal now with all the focus on Pannehrselvam. But by supporting Pannehrselvam, it's obviously part of this momentum which is being built. We are told she will be tomorrow morning announcing her support for Pannehrselvam.
No, so we spoke to a senior AIDMK leader about this, and what he said was so far, cadre, junior level cadre of the AIDMK was frustrated with Sasikala taking over, but they didn't have anybody to rally around. So they were outside Deepa's house supporting her. But now that they've got O Pannehrselvam, there is a whole new front that's been opened, and O Pannehrselvam, according to leaders in the AIDMK, placed at very high levels, is a hero in Tamil Nadu at this time. Chaos, confusion in the Sasikala ranks. I want to go across to Shiv Arur. He's joining us from the Jayalalitha Memorial. When was this decision taken, Shiv? Any sense just yet? When was this decision taken? Rajdeep found out, what time was it? 8:45, 8:30 is when you first alerted the assignment desk that this could possibly happen. This is before O Pannehrselvam had left his residence. So the first reporter to actually get his hands on the story was Rajdeep. And after that, you had this political quake of sorts rocking Tamil Nadu, Shiv.
Absolutely. I don't think anybody, had an inkling about it. Rajdeep was the first to get that information. There was absolute and utter surprise by the manner in which it actually happened. Most people in the AIA, the DMK, of course, didn't know this was actually happening. The public was completely caught off guard when there was VIP movement right here at the MGR Memorial. When the cavalcade pulled in, there was a sudden police presence. There are usually big crowds in the evening here, Rahul, at the MGR and Jayalalitha Samadhi behind me. But the crowd swelled when they noticed that O Pannehrselvam was in. Word started to spread that he had come in. Then he sat down there. Now, what kind of planning it must have taken? We've, had a word with several people, including the police. We've spoken to many people in the police as well to find out if they knew. They didn't know apparently until about 20 minutes before the cavalcade started arriving here at the memorial. So this was a very clean operation in terms of nobody knowing about it. As we reported and as Sudhir was reporting earlier, Jaya TV was completely clueless. They were not live on the story because you can imagine the editor's predicament at Jaya TV, Rahul. They've got no idea what to actually cut to, whether to show visuals of Sasikala right now, who is the Chief Minister designate, or of Mr. Pannehrselvam meditating here at the Samadhi. So massive confusion. It was a clean operation. Nobody really knew about it. And I think that's just what he wanted. When Rajdeep finally found out about it and word, virally spread, through us on India Today as well as on social media, the crowds here exponentially increased in a matter of minutes. We were first on the spot. Our team of reporters were first on the spot to get those visuals as well. And I can tell you, word spread virally. It was organic, and the people came here in their thousands, and there was a sudden change in the entire atmosphere from one of anxiety to one of celebration and chants of Pannehrselvam Varga right through the crowd everywhere.
Stay with me. I want to go across now to Revati Rajivan. She's joining us from Manargudi. Remember, I made a promise when we started this broadcast that no network has as much reporter deployment all across Tamil Nadu as India Today does. So Revati Rajivan has been sent specially to Manargudi. Our original brief to Revati was to do a story profiling the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, because remember, Sasikala comes from Manargudi. Her family has earned the notoriety of being called, rather infamously, the Manargudi Mafia in political circles in Tamil Nadu. Now we're not certain whether she will be the next Chief Minister, but you've had a full day, Revati, speaking to people across Manargudi village, talking to them about what they think of Sasikala. What impressions did you pick up, Revati?
Well, Rahul, if you look at when we pass through these locations like Tanjavur and Tirutiraipalli, as we go to Mannargudi, the signs were clear. That message was loud and clear that the next big step in Tamil Nadu would be that Sasikala would take over. There were Chinnamma's posters and name all over on wall paintings, on flexes, banners, posters, and Jayalalitha was sidelined. There was just a small cutout of Jayalalitha on one corner of the poster, and the main picture was of Sasikala. So throughout, you could see posters and flexes like that, and also writing saying that Ammavin Karnaye Chinnamma, Ammavin Manave Chinnamma, everything. The next phase is Chinnamma as such. Now, even while talking to people, when we say everybody has been caught completely off guard with Pannehrselvam statements, that is true to every bit, because that is what I felt when I was talking to all these people. Nobody had the slightest clue. Everybody thought it was Sasikala who was going to take over, and they were even sure of the dates. They were saying on 9th she is swearing in, right? That is what the locals also told us, that paintings, everything was refreshed. Old posters were being torn out, new posters were being put up, paintings were all new, bright and colorful colors, all message being loud and clear that the next person taking up that position is Sasikala. So throughout the day, nobody had the slightest clues. Locals, there were mixed reactions. Political parties, including DMK or any other parties locally, were not going against AIADMK. They were being very safe at that moment. They were saying that it is a democratic decision. We cannot say anything at this moment. But people, the locals, the villagers, there were people who said that perhaps we should give her 6 months' time. We will see after 6 months, we will evaluate her performance. There were locals who said that she does not have any administrative experience. How can she suddenly become a chief minister? There were also locals who said that she is from Mannargudi. If she becomes a chief minister, it is good for us. She will do something good for Mannargudi. There were mixed responses from the locals, but definitely nobody had the slightest clue that this was coming, Rahul.
Okay, so what's the sense you picked up about the kind of support she had? Did people seem to like her? Because she came from very humble origins in Mannargudi. The family is now grown to riches, and very often we've seen when a family becomes very rich, very suddenly people don't tend to like that very much, Revati.
Well, a lot of people I spoke to tend to support Sasikala, saying that she did come from a good family. They did have wealth, and Sasikala's brother really worked hard to get all this money in. So when you talk about how their finances changed or how their fortunes changed, really people were not willing to oppose or say anything defamatory in public, or were genuinely believing that sort of things. But outside, when you ask them about Sasikala or their family, nobody was willing to go against her. Nobody was willing to say this is the case, or this is perhaps this could have happened, or that was nothing negative that they wanted to say outside. It could be because out of fear, because Mannargudi is a very small town and the family is very influential in that part of Tamil Nadu. It could be out of fear of facing some kind of consequence by saying something opposite, because even those in the DMK were not willing to say anything against it. They were also in support of it, saying that it's a democratic decision and there is nothing that we should be going against. So perhaps it was more out of fear than out of genuine happiness or support for
finally,
her.
Revati, we'll have your report out in the morning. But before that, can describe as you can, what kind of a house did she live in? Describe her origins. Now she's the most important woman in Tamil Nadu politics. What kind of a background does she come from? What did you pick up by speaking to her relatives who are still there? Family, friends, neighbors?
Well, her closest relative, she just has two brothers, one brother in Mannargudi right now who is not willing to speak on camera at the moment, considering all the situations. But she was originally born about 40 kilometers away from Mannargudi, the place that we connect with her so much, and a very humble background, definitely. And she did drop out of school as well. Tirutiraipalli is the village where she comes from. But originally her parents, grandparents, her native is Mannargudi. So there's a lot of business establishments and that sort of thing, and her relatives, her sisters being married off to people in Mannargudi. A lot of relation that she has got very closely connected with Mannargudi. So coming from a humble background, yes, but the kind of support that she has at the moment, is it because is it a genuine support for her and the family, or is it because of the fear because of the influence that her brother has got in that town, is a question there, Rahul.
You know, the sense I'm getting, Rahul, as we, reach the end of this long day, the high drama.
You're hoping it's the end of the long day, Rajdeep.
I hope Mr. Pannehrselvam now comes up with the evidence tomorrow morning that he's promising to. But I think he will. I think he is escalating this. He's taken step one. Look at how he's done it. Went to the Jayalalitha Memorial, makes a statement there, speaks about his sort of, how the spirit of Jayalalitha in a sense has imbued him. Then chooses to slowly get MLAs who are now coming to his house, gets people celebrating, will come out with evidence tomorrow. We expect Deepa and others will also come out in his support. He is building momentum, and I think he will try and meet the governor because he wants that floor test. If he doesn't get the floor test, then we don't know what will happen. Then governor's rule, president's rule is an option.
Let's look at the numbers, Rajdeep. That will be interesting. You've got 234 MLAs in the assembly.
Sure.
You need
234.
234.
Yes.
You need 90 at least for the AIDMK to split. So the AIDMK currently has 135 MLAs. The DMK has 89, the Congress 8, the IUML 1.
Yeah, now the one thing is he doesn't necessarily need 90 to stake claim to power. If he claims, give me 10 days, right? He could well argue, in 10 days I'll have 90. He doesn't need to prove the 90 today. He will be, if he is treated as the sitting chief minister, he goes to the governor, says, look, I need 10 days. In 10 days I'll get 90. The option otherwise is that he has a small rump of 30-35, right? You need a third. You need a third in a sense, 1/3 as per the anti-defection law. So out of 135, he needs about 45.
45,
If he gets 45 and he gets 89 of the DMK, he's through.
Okay, S. Guru Murthy.
He can be
Guru
through.
Murthy, RSS ideologue, prominent face from Tamil Nadu, one of the movers and shakers of Tamil Nadu politics, has tweeted just now, and I want to quote to you what Guru Murthy is saying. First, here it is. OPS has shown that a decent, disciplined and obedient party soldier driven to a corner can decently react without rancor or hate. Classic. Tweet number 2. By this one act, O Pannehrselvam has emerged from the shadows of all ammas and emerged as a leader in his own right. Tweet number 3. O Pannehrselvam residence after his Dhyan at Jaya Samadhi and press meet today. So essentially, prominent RSS ideologue O Pannehrselvam Shiv coming out in support of Guru Murthy, coming out in support of O Pannehrselvam. Now this is very interesting as well. Back to Shiv in just a moment. Rajdeep, your sense, O Pannehrselvam getting support from Guru Murthy close to midnight tonight.
Guru Murthy has been critical of Sasikala for the last couple of days. Interestingly, Swami, who is possibly close to Guru Murthy, has taken the opposite line. He is saying Sasikala deserves to get a chance to prove a majority. But Mr. Swami in this, Dr. Swami in this case seems to be marginalized. Guru Murthy close to the RSS, and that gives a sense of where does the RSS now stand in this entire equation. I get a sense both the center and the RSS are delighted with what is happening. You've got a state which at the moment could have upheaval which could eventually result in changing political equations in a crucial year, presidential elections in June, July this year. You've got Rajya Sabha majority the BJP is looking for early next year. If they lose UP, they don't get that majority, so they need Tamil Nadu desperately. And you've got the big general elections in 2019. So don't rule out what role the centre plays. Clearly the governor has not been acting on his own volition in keeping Sasikala waiting. But the crowds that you're now showing me, Rahul, is a clear indication that Tamil Nadu mysteriously has found a new hero. I mentioned Rajnikant, but I think this is not Rajnikant who has emerged out, but suddenly someone who till the other day was seen more like an Amol Palekar, the quiet middle class hero, who now suddenly has developed muscle. And look at the way things have turned. He's struck a chord because I guess there is a feeling among people that Sasikala was not the person they had voted for when they did the elections in May of 2016.
Shivarur, the ironical thing is that the AIDMK has been the one party journalists always struggle with in trying to get reactions from. Suddenly, it's free for all, and everyone, T.S. Sudhir from the AIDMK now has the license to speak. For the longest time, while Jayalalitha was around, they couldn't utter a word without permission from Poise Garden. Now, suddenly, all of them have found their voice.
Absolutely, and found their voice. And how? Someone like Pannehrselvam, who would never open his mouth. In fact, I remember when he took oath as Chief Minister after Jayalalitha was sent to jail in September 2014, he did not speak, and the first time he spoke actually was when he was relieved. He had to quit as Chief Minister, and he told me that I'm feeling very relieved. So that's the nature of the AIDMK, which has really changed in the last 2 months. In fact, even in the last 2 months, we have seen a whole lot of leaders, both at the state capital level and also the district level, actually coming out and talking and articulating what they feel about the political situation in the state.